have you guys seeing my password again, can I? Welcome to the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. We are gonna feed Fred, and then we're gonna make celery shit because I need vegetables, and I have not been eating nutritiously, let us say. I did have a banana and an apple, but I also had, I kid you not, half a pound of cheese. I'm not even worried about the cheese. I'm a little bit worried about the sodium content I ingested. I definitely feel very hypertensive right now. Hi, Freddie. You ready to eat? I've gotten so lazy, I've stopped taking Fred's food out of the can. He's okay, he's been eating today. He actually ate some Stella and Chewy's, so I'm not sure what his deal was yesterday. Maybe he just did it to fuck with me? Wow, y'all. I did 2 ounces exactly. So proud of myself. That is skill. Hi, Freddie. Yes, peanut butter and bananas, my last meal. If anybody lives in the Woodside area and you are still looking for ingredients for Thanksgiving, I put it on my Buy Nothing group, but no one's bitten it so far. I'm going to show you a package that I got in the mail today. Let me know via Instagram if you want to pick up anything for your Thanksgiving meal. Yes, after we feed Fred, I'll show you. The receipt is fine. It ain't gonna burn. Freddie, can you tell the people how you're feeling? They're wondering how you're feeling. How are you feeling? Oh boy. All right, no more accidents today. Excuse me. Cute. Cute. Alright, so about the title. I found this receipt at Mom's after she died, and I was like, what the fuck? This receipt is dated October 4th, 2021, and Mom died October 3rd, 2021. And when I found this receipt, I was like, probably this is a case of European dating, where the day comes first, followed by the month, followed by the year, or something like that. So, you know, it could have been the 10th day of April in 2021 instead of the day after Mom died. And so I kept this receipt throughout the entire process of organizing the house, just so I could go back to this particular grocery store and buy something and figure out how the hell they format their dates. So I went today. I know I said I was going to buy more groceries, but I bought some Japanese sweet potato because they were on sale for 78 cents. And I also bought a couple of Chinese sausages because I'm planning to make bao fan tomorrow for myself for Thanksgiving. And bao fan usually is a sweet savory combo with a lot of really weird shit like dates and sticky rice and lard and Chinese sausages, which are kind of sweet and salty. But anyway, I bought those, and I looked at the date on the receipt, and it says 11/24/2021, which means this receipt is indeed from October 4th, 2021, the day after Mom died. And I was like, there's no fucking way that, you know, the forces that be in the universe is giving me such a supernatural sign. I must find a logical reasoning for why this receipt says the day after Mom died. So I was looking at, this was a credit card transaction, and I was looking at the numbers and the type of card, and I was going through all the cards that I had on hand for Mom, and none of them matched up, which means this card did not belong to Mom, which explained a lot of things. So then I thought, let's read through what she bought. She bought a pound of lean beef, scallions, pomegranate, organic ginger, tangerine, and banana. And I looked at the tangerine and the banana, and I was like, you know, after Mom died, My uncle brought some oranges and bananas for Grandma. So I decided to call up my uncle and I was like, hey uncle, do you have a MasterCard that ends in X, Y, and Z? And he was like, why yes I do. 'Twas my uncle. My dead mom did not buy groceries the day after she died. Mystery solved. We can throw these away now. Was that a good dinner? Was that a good dinner? Yes. Very good dinner. Thank you for your tail slap. Okie dokies. So, Fred, you're silly beanies. We're gonna rinse the celery off, we're gonna chop it up, we're gonna throw it into our Instant Pot, and we're just going to, I'll probably cook some more lentils with it so that I have some sort of protein going forward into the weekend. I love split pea soup. Possibly my favorite soup ever. No joke. If I'm ever out and I have to buy a cheap ass thing, it's usually going to be the soup on the menu. And if split pea is on there, it's usually my go-to soup. Oh, Ashton, I'm so sorry. Shit. I never know what to say when people tell me their loved ones, human or pets, pass away, other than, I hope you're taking care of yourself, and, I don't know, day by day. Cream of celery soup because I don't really like heavy soup, and I especially don't have cream on hand, so that's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna make my usual trash mush. You know how it goes. So here's the thing, I've asked the same question before about tipping. I don't tip when it's counter service, and like, for example, if I'm just buying an ice cream cone, I don't tip unless they are super nice to me and have catered to my every whim when it comes to letting me taste all the flavors I wanted to taste. Then usually I leave like a $2 tip, but otherwise, if I'm just ordering the thing, you know, and I'm already paying for that thing that's on your menu, I'm not tipping. Is that bad? Am I a terrible person? I like Mush Machine. I don't know how the Instant Pot feels about being boxed into the genre like that, but I like Mush Machine a lot. I worked in restaurants for 4.5 years, back of house. We never really got tips. The only place I got tipped at was at Core Street Grocers. And the delineation between front and back of house was sometimes very blurred at Court Street. But that remains my favorite food service job I've ever worked. I don't feel like it's fair for the consumer to have to feel the pressure of tipping when there's not table service, because that means that we feel like the employer is just routinely getting away with not paying the workers enough. And yes, I understand the margins at food establishments are extremely thin, but there's just something so fucked up about that system where I have to pay more than what is advertised as the price of my food. You know, I just feel like that logic is so fucked up, and I hate it. And I would rather you just fucking pay your workers what they need to survive and show me the actual price it would cost for my food to cost in order to pay them that price. And then I can decide whether or not I can afford to eat at your establishment. I don't want to deal with this gray area of morality where I am always at risk of being a bad person. I want to know, can I afford this? And if I can't, then I just simply won't be a customer participating in the exploitation of workers. Because if the system does not work, it is not up to the individual to change it, right? Like, we have to decide that, hey, this ain't working, we gotta change it. We can't just keep blaming single individuals for being a shit tipper. Because if you allow there to be a gray area where people can not tip, then some people will not tip. And that's extremely unfair. Not that the world runs on fairness, but I just don't understand why it has to be this way. And it has to be so unclear. it's just really skinny celery with a lot more leaves. You're not really missing out on much, honestly. I only got this because it was in a $1 bag, that's all. That's why I have this whole compost pile here of unusable bits. It's not prime stuff. Oops. That was loud. Sorry. Celery and lentils in the Instant Pot, which we have renamed the Mush Machine. media girl. I don't need to make a cookbook. They can just watch these lives. Why does everyone want a cookbook so bad? You don't need a cookbook, y'all. You just throw shit in a pot and you cook it until it turns to mush, and then you have mush. That's it. It doesn't have to be complicated. Hello, Dead Sea Life. Welcome. To all the folks who are new to the lives, if you comment more, we'll get to know you faster. Or you can just be a fly on the wall and we don't have to know you at all. At your own pace, for your own comfort. Do what you like. So when I first started doing these lives, I was like, not everyone who follows me on Instagram or watches Budget Eats knows I do these lives. But now I just feel like a lot of people who follow me and watch Budget Eats have no interest in the lives because it's been 9 months since I started doing these. Which is fine. I totally understand. This is not edited. It's not really packaged. And it's a whole different kind of media. But Aaron today was like, yo. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you know what he said because I posted the screenshot. But he was like, yo, I think your lives are cannibalizing your edited video views. Because they're not doing so well, is the connotation. And he was like, nobody does a YouTube channel this way. They always separate like the B footage videos, aka the lives, away from the edited videos. And the algorithm doesn't like it when you do this kind of shit together because it doesn't know what kind of channel you are. And he was like, I highly recommend that you create a separate channel for the lives. And I was like, no. Not gonna do it. A lot of folks keep saying that I should write a book, that I should start a Patreon, and they all mean very well. They want me to be quote unquote successful. I get it. I thank you. But it's just not my thing, you know? I feel like this is a place for me to kind of vlog in the truest sense. It is a video log. It is basically a diary of how I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and most, if not all, of the thoughts that pass through my brain. And randomly, if you pay enough attention, I will have a fart in there or two. So, you know, it's a very trick-or-treat channel, which if you like, great, and if you don't, I respect that, and thank you for coming, and thank you for visiting, but, if you choose to stay, if you want to subscribe, you can do that. Just lower your fucking expectations, okay? Because I do not have any for myself anymore. I don't have a goal. That's the thing. I don't have a goal for life. I'd like to keep it that way. I find goals meaningless. I find them arbitrary, I find them empty, and I find them to be anxiety-inducing and stressful. They always create a metric against which I measure myself for no real reason other than perceived societal acceptance. And I'm a little how do I say? Don't give a shit about that. I'm a little degaff about that now. Because I am lucky and privileged enough to have enough of a financial padding right now that I don't have to worry about squeezing capital out of every single fucking thing that I do. And I find that this is a place where I can just do what I usually do, except maybe provide some company to strangers on the internet. And sometimes they help me out, which has been pretty amazing if you ask me. It's like all the original reasons for why we created the internet before the internet went to shit in a hellfire of anonymous hate-dom. Remember the early days of the internet, y'all? Remember how amazing it felt? Do I consider myself a pessimist or a realist? I guess that depends on who I'm talking to and what they think of me. It doesn't really matter what I think of myself, you know? Yay, parasocial relationships. You know, they deserve a little more credit as long as you're not fucking stalking me. But I don't think I have the type of personality that would make people want to stalk me. I don't think most people who get stalked fart in front of 300 people, so I'm gonna get a very special stalker if I ever get one. But I would like to not have one. If you respect my wishes, I'm just gonna put it out there. Don't stalk me. It is very hard to be on the internet nowadays. Boundaries are blurrier by the day. People feel like it is natural for people to respond to them. They feel like they deserve attention because of how much attention is available. It almost feels like feeling like you're going to be able to drink the ocean. But then you get angry when you realize the ocean is not for you to drink from, and that it's not actually potable water. Then you feel teased, and then you get even more miffed when you feel like you get ignored, right? Because you're like, well, there's all this water, why can't I get some? I don't know, is that a bad analogy? That's what it feels like to me sometimes. This water is not for you. It is not for you to drink. It is just here. This water is just here. You can look at it. You can touch it if you want, sometimes. But if you try to drink it, you probably won't like it. And don't get fucking angry at other people if you try to drink seawater. A lot of people, I won't say a lot, but several people DM me expecting me to help them with very personal shit, and I'm just like, I'm one person. I'm also human. I also have my own shit to deal with. I'm not fucking Bill Gates. So even Bill Gates probably are like, get the fuck away from me. We're going to use up the rest of these curry cubes because, why not? Maybe just 2 actually, because it was very salty the first time. We'll leave 1 for later. You know what? We'll just keep it simple. We're gonna add in some of Mom's black pepper. I can't taste the difference between this and golden curry, honestly. And yes, that's a shit ton of pepper. I am just trying to get rid of it. Don't at me. I don't have oregano. Turmeric. Fennel seed. Ground coriander. A little tiny pinch of clove. I'm just throwing shit in because I see it. I'm gonna dump in the rest of this red. It feels like paprika. I got it from LA. I don't actually know what it tastes like. Yeah, Jonathan, I totally agree. I kind of brought it onto myself, but also, I don't know. It might be a bit of a stretch to like compare it to rape culture, but it's just like, just because I put myself out there doesn't mean that I can always acquiesce and comply to what people need or want from me, you know? Maybe a bit of a stretch, but kind of the same logic, I feel like, which is fine. A lot of people are aware that I can't help them with everything that they need help with, but some people just feel so miffed when I can't help them. And that makes me feel bad because I was raised, like probably many of us, on a system where we prize ourselves in terms of being prized by other people. And who are we if we keep just saying no to people? And so it triggers this reward system inside my brain that's just like, well, you have to help them because your reputation is a good person and a good person would help them. And if you don't help them, you'll be a bad person. And you really don't want to be a bad person, do you? So just help them. But the reality is you can't help everyone. As much as that sucks, you can't help everyone. A lot of people have told me very personal stuff. And it truly sounds like they would benefit from someone like a therapist. I don't understand their reasoning in telling me, a complete stranger, all of these things, but maybe, you know, like Jonathan said, I make myself very seemingly available to share deeply personal stuff, so they feel like they can reciprocate, and I will be able to reciprocate back again, but that's not the case, unfortunately. Evelyn, what did you ask me for help on? I didn't even see your request. Sorry. Sorry, I can't help everyone! For sure. I don't even know how to find a therapist. $24? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna plug my phone in. No, I know you're not trying to blame me, don't worry. Because my phone was not charged. And then I'm gonna show you what I got in my random mailer box today. First, I'm gonna start with things that I'm going to keep because I like to use them. Kettle and Fire chicken broth. I normally don't buy chicken broth because I find it's a waste of space, a waste of packaging, and you could just buy the Better Than Bouillon jar and then you can dilute it. It doesn't make sense to me, but I got it. Then I also got this very nifty honey kit. I love honey, and I will be using this. And also, it comes in glass jars, which is fucking amazing. Okay, it has clover, a sunny-colored honey with a delicate, mild sweetness sourced from the Dakotas, Montana, and other Midwest states. So this is not single-source local honey. Orange blossom, which is brightly colored with clear notes of citrus. Honey comes from bees foraging in Florida or California. So this is probably actually just really bougie packaged low-quality honey, because high-quality honey usually just comes from one region. Single origin is the key word we're looking for here, and I do feel like it does make a difference when you source locally. You can taste the region, and some people even think that it helps with seasonal allergies when you eat honey that's local to your area. When you have stuff like California olive ranch olive oil that used to be single origin from California, but is now a mix of random countries, and they call it destination series, that usually means that stuff is lower quality, because think about it, they're producing these things from locations far, far away and then somehow shipping them to each other and then mixing them into a hodgepodge of sort. I don't know. Anyway, continuing on, Wildflower, a classic medium-colored honey with a subtly robust, full-body sweetness made in America's wildflower meadows. Well, it does not get more vague than America's wildflower meadows, does it, folks? We don't even know what states this might be a hodgepodge of. Berry, a deeper color of honey with mixed notes of berries. Sourced from the Pacific Northwest, Wisconsin, Michigan, Maine, and other Northeast states. That's like across the entire top half of America. LOL. Well, you know, guys, this is why I won't get sponsored by any single company, because all I do is shit on stuff. The ingredients are raw honey from well-tended, well-loved bees. This is the most bullshit ingredients list, description, packaging, tasting notes I've ever fucking seen. Unfortunately, more and more companies are doing this, and they think I am stupid enough to believe that this is high quality shit when they code it with words. But guess what? I was an English major. I can code shit in words too and make it sound good. Doesn't mean my mush tastes great. Comes with a little tasting spoon. It's cute though. I'm still gonna fucking use it and keep it. We'll do taste tests. Because I have little jars. I didn't buy this shit, by the way. I got sent it. You better believe I do not spend money on honey that is not from local small farms. Is the spoon from Michigan as well, Jessica? Extra credit to Jessica. The world needs more bees and love. I wish they put on the American berry flavor. The world needs more bees and love and less capitalism and empty marketing speak. Woo, there goes my future. American orange blossom. Can we get more American than saying American on every single bottle? Dropping nutmeg in your pot? You mean like when you're microplaning and you accidentally drop the nub of no, you should grate the nutmeg over an empty bowl, and then in case you drop it accidentally, you can fish it out. American wildflower. By the way, this company is called Bee Harmony Honey. Okay. American clover. I like this clover look. I mean, the viscosity looks quite nice. That's all I can say about that. It looks very thick. Look at that air bubble traveling. Yeah, girl. Love that texture of honey. But you can see that this has been filtered. These are extremely clear in color and, can I say, tonality? Since they're laying the marketing speech on thick, I don't see why I can't. If you don't see any impurities in the honey, that means that it's probably been heat treated, aka it has killed a lot of the nicer parts of honey's healthy properties. It says US grade A strain, product of USA. So if it's been strained, this is not going to be honey that I would buy for myself. It's probably more expensive than 20, I would guess, but is it? Did somebody do research? $20 for this. Each of these tiny jars is 3 ounces, which means this entire package is not even a pound. I can buy a pound of local farmers market honey for probably anywhere, depending on the market that I go to, $8 to $12. So this is really not worth it. Support your local farmers, support your small businesses, like actual small businesses, not like corporate disguised as small businesses. And look, my wooden spoon already looks dirty. But I will be keeping these. We'll taste them, you know, like I said. Do we like shitting on products? Is this a new advertisement? Rip a hole in them. Okay, so the things that I will be giving away, if anybody lives near Woodside, please tell me if you want these tomorrow. This is a stuffing mix. It has bread in it. It says sourdough, rye, garlic, onion, celery seed, herb, salt, pepper. I also have the sweet potato biscuit mix that came with canned sweet potato mush. And we have this fancy Trade Street Jam Company low sugar vegan cranberry raspberry sage jam. It has cranberry raspberry sugar, fresh sage, orange zest, cinnamon, nutmeg. Not your average jam. Refrigerate after opening. Manufactured in Jersey. So these all came from, I believe they came from Vital Farms, which I got coupons for. Oh. They gave me coupons for complimentary butter with avocado oil, and complimentary carton of eggs. If you guys want these, let me know, I guess. You gotta pick up in Woodside though. These expire end of December. End of December, okay? You gotta use them. That's it. That's the goodie. So now that I went ahead and bought produce when I said I wasn't going to shop, I guess we should wash them and cook them so that I can use them and stuff, because otherwise they'll just sit here and rot like this one already is. I don't eat turnips, so I don't know the safest way to peel a turnip. I would say if you can slice off the top, lop off the top so that it's even, and then you can stick a fork on it, and you don't have to hold the turnip with your hand, you can hold it with the fork, but that will give you less control, so. Better. I can't just give you hot takes. You guys have to give me a topic for hot takes. I do not just pull them out of my butt. I have to pull them out of a curated butt. You gotta do some of the work for me, you know? Veganism, overcapitalized and underrated. There is a way to do veganism that does not rely on manufactured, marketed vegan shit. Farting in public. Inconsiderate, but sometimes it has to be done. Laundry routine. When I used to visit mom pre-COVID, I used to do it at her place. I could line dry it. Now, I can't. Erin takes it on weekends to a laundromat, and we pay for it. We have a card. We swipe it, and that's it. I don't know what you want me to say about laundry. I did say butt. Do you guys like me saying butt, or you don't like me saying butt? Can't tell.
Food waste and the environment? I really don't know what you want me to say about that, guys. Shit. That's too vague, guys. Again, do some of the work for me. Why don't you give me a controversial take and I'll give you my opinion on it? Give me something that you're personally invested in so that we can have a conversation and it's not just me saying random things. You can stop treating me as a source of entertainment and more of a peer. How's that? Be my comrade, not my consumer. Is that too socialist for you? Do you see value in recycling? I used to work in a restaurant where I would get angry at everybody for not recycling, and I would haul it to the proper recycling bin, and I would actually like dig my arms deep in there to rescue recycling. And then I found out that China has stopped taking the world's refuse. China has stopped taking recyclables, and basically we just dump it in the ocean now. It is kind of a scam. Unfortunately, the whole idea of going green and recycling and all these environmentally friendly shit was created by oil companies, right? Isn't that how it goes? They create a tale of how we can save the world so that they don't have to. You shouldn't be a whistleblower unless you are ready to be alienated. You know by now that there is no heroism in being a whistleblower in practice. It is purely a name, and people cannot eat names. They cannot eat nominal rewards. They will only get punished. So, don't be a whistleblower unless you are ready to suffer the consequences of being a fucking goody-goody two-shoes. But if you want to be a goody-goody two-shoes at all costs, yeah, do it. Don't be a hero, guys, unless you want to be a martyr. They don't end well. Only do it if you are masochistic. Capiche? Yes, plastics are a oil company product, which is why they want to spin you this tale that plastics aren't bad. They want to keep making their shit so that you don't feel as guilty for buying and consuming and using that shit. It is a way for them to keep their business alive by telling us that, you know, it's not all going into the ocean, turning into microplastic and growing inside us and all along our food chains. Here's the thing about being a whistleblower. You are operating, and I'm not criticizing whistleblowers, this is just my observation, or at least from my point of view. I'm not trying to criticize them because I admire them in a certain way, because I still hold true to those morals that we've all been taught but do not actually get rewarded in society. The thing about being a whistleblower is you are operating under moral superiority. You are taking a stance against what you believe to be bad ethics. And in doing so, in taking that stand, you are saying everyone who is supporting this regime and system is a bad person. And I am a good person. And so I must reveal the truth behind all these things that bad people are doing so that the world can know how much bad things are going on and we can stop it. The problem with that is most people don't want to know how bad of a world we live in. You are going to be an anti-hero of sorts because you are going to be ruining a lot of innocent people's perception of how good our world is. And they will hate you for it. And the people who are in power will know that you are dumb. And they will punish you for it. I don't think you can win as a whistleblower, unfortunately. But you can have a moment of honor before you inevitably get obliterated socially. My mods are letting that title go to their heads. Are we banning people who aren't actually spammers? What's going on? You know how I feel about that, folks. Whistleblowers aren't trying to win? What do you mean by that, NP? I don't disagree with you that whistleblowers are trying to give the public information with which they can decide for themselves, you know, what to do with that information. However, that's assuming that the public cares. That's assuming that the public has the same sense of morality that you do and will act to support it and will change their behaviors to coincide with that set of morals. The fact of the matter is, I don't think many of us are willing to do that. I don't think many of us are willing to be good in that altruistic sense, sacrificing ourselves, you know? Myself included. Why don't I go around giving people who are on the streets begging for money? I have more than enough to survive, right? Rather than hoard it in my savings account, why don't I do that instead? But did I work hard enough? And do the people who are barely getting by every day on the streets not work hard and just didn't get rewarded? Like, who decides you worked hard enough for this that you get to keep it all? Who decides what's fair? That never really checked out for me in my brain, you know? thinking about this today because when I die, I won't have kids to name as my beneficiary. My mom at least had me. She also left money to my cousin, her little brother's daughter. And I was thinking what I'm gonna do when I die and who to leave it to. And this got me thinking about wealth and the purpose of wealth and who we're actually working for. Because my mom worked so hard to save up, and I don't know what she was saving for. Okay, so we got sweet potatoes getting ready to get steamed. And I think for prepping tomorrow's babao fan, I'm going to start soaking some of the things, some of the ingredients that I brought over from Mom's. Okay, so who's made babao fan before? And can you tell me, is the rice raw when you make it? Is it raw when you make it? Or is it, do you have to use cooked rice? I have some short glutinous rice and long glutinous rice. This one's from Mom's, I believe, but I'm not sure. And this one's from me. So I'm gonna soak it, I guess. Happy Thanksgiving. Hi, Goat Farm. I think savory version is kind of more Cantonese. Can I just get a confirmation on how to use these dried longan? Like, I can't use the shells, right? I gotta break them open. And that's what I can use? That's it? I gotta throw away the shells? Can anybody who's more Chinese than I am confirm? I need your Chinese wisdom, please. There definitely is a pit inside, but it's kind of like a dried date. I don't think I can take it out now, but we'll see. I'm gonna go for 9 of these. Yes, soaking is a great idea. What would I do without y'all? You know what? Let's go for 12. They're minuscule. also had some dried chestnuts. We're gonna soak some of these too. I love chestnuts. And along with the chestnuts, we're gonna do some lotus seeds. I'm gonna soak some mung beans. Hey, hey. I'm gonna soak some shiitake shrooms. We're gonna rinse off some goji berries. Xiami. I don't know what xiami is. Oh, like the little tiny shrimp? It always confuses me because I'm like, why are they called grains? Why are they called rice? But yeah. I don't have xiami, unfortunately. I was very surprised that Mom didn't have any.
goji berry, Freddy?
It's not very tasty. Trust me.
You want to smell it? Yeah, I thought so.
I'm also gonna soak some brown glutinous rice because why not? Variety.
I'm sorry, Fred.
I'll move the honey. The berries, they taste like musty rose raisins. Whoop, sorry, Freddy. I didn't see you there. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Did you like that, Fred? We're gonna try with Mom's knife. And let's try it with Mom's very worn wooden spatula. Here's the brown sticky rice. All right, how many things we got? We got sticky rice, 2 sticky rices, 3 goji, 4 mung bean, 5 longan, 6 shiitake, 7 sausage, 8 chestnut, 9 lotus, and then maybe I'll add in some sesame seeds tomorrow. I don't know if these are rancid actually. I found them in Mom's pantry. I think they're fine. They definitely need to be toasted a little bit. For the goji berries, once they are a little bit rehydrated, I'm gonna cook them down in a little bit of rock sugar so that they can get a little bit sweetened. Maybe I'll cook the lotus seeds, the chestnuts, the longan, and the goji in a little bit of the rock sugar so that they can all get a little bit sweetened. I don't have any black sticky rice. I don't have any of that on hand. Okay, sweet potatoes off. Tomorrow I'm going to be mixing in a little bit of mugwort powder. This is very expired, but supposedly really good for certain health ailments, and it also makes your stuff look a little bit green. I can't tell if it's moldy. I don't think it is. This is the original packaging that it came in. I got it so many decades ago. Looks like the same thing that's in the jar. I'm just trying to reassure myself that the jar hasn't gone contaminated with mold. But pretty much looks like the same thing. Tastes a little bit like milky dried mulch and bitter mold. Truly a little bit disgusting. Kind of want to gag right now. I also gave away most of Mom's dried rose. This we made tea with. It smelled quite nice. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to sprinkle a little bit of this into the treasure rice. There's going to be a lot of things happening. I don't know what time I'll be able to do this. You don't really need to taste things to know what they taste like, as long as you smell them. Thoughts on adapting recipes for people who cannot get access to the ingredients? I encourage it. I think it's better to partake in piecemeal culture than to not. The problem with whitewashing is when you are trying to gain authority on something that you don't actually know shit about, and you try to pass yourself off as, you know, the grand professor of X, Y, and Z. That's the issue. As long as you're not claiming authenticity, mastery, or elevating X, Y, and Z, I don't see a problem with adapting recipes. Like, people who are not in their home countries have to adapt their own recipes because they can't gain access to those ingredients elsewhere. A lot of fantastic cuisines have come out of diasporas. I don't see a problem with it at all. I find it fascinating, I find it inspiring, and I find it beautiful when people interpret things. Wouldn't you want somebody to interpret your words and your work beyond your death? Wouldn't you want your legacy to evolve with the times and the setting? Wouldn't you want to live in some other form? Or do you want to stay forever that single version of yourself? That to me is a sort of death that is not at all eternal. The only way to survive is to change. So, I'm for it. as I put this away, we shall have our fourth dinner. I need to figure out where to put all of this. I would like to put it in the fridge. I do not want to encourage the roaches. Let's see if we can do something about this messy ass shit. Okay, y'all, I'm about to do something that's extremely painful for me because not only is it food waste, it's also emitting defeat. And we made these candied orange peels like quite a few months ago. Aaron has never eaten them. We made them in April. We're gonna dump them. Sorry. Sorry. I'm saying sorry to myself because I'm disappointed in myself. Bye, Dawn. We're also going to transfer the ginkgo nuts into a jar. By the way, if anybody needs ice packs, I have 12 of them. Because the Murray's cheese came with a lot of ice packs, I have no use for them. I also feel bad about throwing them out. They're very nice. They're like coated in a no sweat packaging. Holler at me if you're local and you want ice packs. anybody chilling with their families right now? You know, since it's Thanksgiving and all. Let's just eat one for old time's sake, huh? Orangey. Ah, yes. That Budget Eats birthday cake. That was a time. Let's try another one. That one's better. Less bitter. Also, I've been looking at apartments and I really don't like them. I think Aaron's gonna be very angry at me if I don't move. But I really don't want to. I hate everything about the noise here, but I really like this apartment. Freddie, we're gonna release the pressure. Are you ready? Are you ready, Freddie? Doesn't that smell like farts, Fred? Doesn't that smell like farts? Freddie, what do you think? Do you think it'll be good? Do you think it'll be delicious? I can't figure out how large this is, but based on my time at Delish, I have good reason to believe that this, my mom's Instant Pot, is an 8-quart. So, it is quite big. Freddie, you scared of it? Oh, this is a 6-quart? Okay, if you say so. I'll check later. How do I frame this so that you see Fred? What do you think, Freddie? I really like to mush up the lentils once they're cooked. So during my time at Delish, we found out that the 8-quart new models of Instant Pot exhibit burn warnings way more frequently than 6 quarts. So if this is a 6 quart, I'm perfectly happy with that because the 6 quarts were honestly my personal favorites when we were testing. I'm gonna taste this, and if it's not salty enough, we're gonna plop in that final curry cube. If I stream tomorrow, what time do you want me to stream? What time Eastern Standard Time do you want me to stream? What time would you like company at? All day. Oh man, we can definitely add in that final curry cube. add in a little bit of butter from Mom's collection. Earl Grey tea and Bailey's. Interesting. Let's watch the buttermilk. Bye, Chefy. Happy Thanksgiving. I feel like curry cubes already have a shit ton of MSG. We probably don't need. Very sorry Freddie left us. He got bored. I could potentially shake treats. We're gonna put in those fermented black beans that I accidentally contaminated yesterday. These are very salty, so they will pick up the umami quite a bit. Okay, in my attempt to get rid of Mom's black pepper, I definitely overused the black pepper. It is now just like all over every single bit. Let's see, what can we do to make it a little more exciting? Yes, I was thinking a little vinegar too. I'm gonna use Mom's vinegar because I think her balsamic vinegar is of much higher quality than mine. I just stole mine from the test kitchen. It was like an open bottle that nobody was using. We're out of red pepper now, Stacy, I think. Not sure, but I think. have a bit of mint simple syrup. I'm gonna put a little bit of this in, just a tiny bit. It's gonna both have a little bit of herbiness and a little bit of sweetness to help even everything out. I'm also thinking that we could plop in some of our steamed sweet potatoes and let it melt in here too for a little more body and natural earthy sweetness. If a recipe doesn't turn out well, do you still eat it? Yes. I punish myself. Mmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of sesame oil. Wow. We're now in the shower with somebody, y'all. That's exciting. All right, we're gonna go in with some sweet potatoes. You want more sweet potatoes in there? Okay, let's taste it a little bit, shall we? The texture of this is spot on right now. It is like silky, smooth, slightly thick on the spoon, not quite drizzleable, but will still plop like a smooth, suave Casablanca. You didn't tell me I had gunkies on my mouth. Ooh. Ooh, you can taste that sesame oil. Yum. Okay. We're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere. I love the sweet potatoes in there. That texture, that slight. Somebody was just saying how sweet potatoes taste a little bit floral yesterday. It's exactly that. That floralness is almost like a grassy herb. And it also adds sugary, but not too honey or molassesy. It's just like plain sugar, starchiness. I think it works really well. I have an immersion blender, yes. I had to buy it against my wishes for a single recipe video I was shooting, and they were like, it doesn't cost very much to just buy it. I was like, okay, I really don't want one more gadget, but yes, now I have an immersion blender. But I like my soups a little bit textured. We're there. We're there. You can taste the celery. You can taste the sweetness of the root vegetables, and the lentils are just there for texture and heft. The curry isn't like punching you. It's working very, very, very nicely with the vinegar. And what else did we? Oh, sesame oil. Very, very pronounced sesame oil. Let's get us a bowl. I'm gonna put in a little bit of our leftover red lentil, glutinous rice, quinoa oatmeal mix. and it'll get warmed up by the new stuff. Jonathan, it doesn't always work out, you know? You just have to, if you have high expectations, you will never, ever, ever succeed because you will never meet those expectations, and no matter how passable and edible your mush or your experiments are, you'll always feel a little bit disappointed with yourself. I would say just lower your expectations and just be like, I'm gonna cook something that will be edible, and we'll see how it goes. And you can just play with one spice at a time. Don't go overboard like I did. I think, as you well know by now, I have a very conflicted relationship with food. I have unhealthy behaviors with food. So for me, when it comes to cooking, it is more about play than about nourishment. Obviously, if it tastes good, it will be delightful. But most of the time, when I'm experimenting, it doesn't taste good. How do you get a line cook job with no experience? You apply. That's it. It's bottom, low wage, minimum wage jobs. They'll always need cooks, especially now. Nobody wants to be a cook. Vitamin check. Hydration check. I need to pack my sweet potatoes. I'm gonna let this mush cool a little bit before I eat it. I'm gonna do some dishes first. You're gonna have a view of nothing at all. Oh my god, you lost your X-Acto blade in your carpet? Fucking vacuum that shit, dude. Jesus Christ, that's a nightmare. Macintosh apples. Whoa, bread. Interesting. My favorite apple variety, that is such a hard question to answer. I used to say it was a French variety called the, I think, Caveau Blanc. But I don't know, there's just so many good ones. There's so many good ones. Oh my gosh. I don't think I can do ASMR specific. We can sneak in ASMR bits, but ASMR channels are just too much.
should know by now that I will not do a solely anything. This channel will forever be a mush channel. And that is to say, you know how I make mush by just putting trash ingredients together? That's basically what this channel will be in terms of content. It will never be focused. It will always lack a thesis. And we will always be wandering through the landscape of life, lost, bewildered, but still somewhat finding a thrill in it all. Yay, you found the Zacto knife. I'm so happy. Now we can all go to sleep tonight instead of worrying that one of us is slowly being cut to pieces from the feet up. Obvious when you haven't been paying attention to the live. Freddie, would you like some sweet potato? Hi, babe. Sweet potato? Was that good? Do you want another? I'll give you another piece. Mush it up real good. Mush it up real good. I've tried to fix my eating habits, but I sometimes always fall back to the more disordered eating ways. I don't quite know why I'm stuck in this stage. I'm sure therapy would help. But I think I've made some progress, at least mentally. And I think mental progress is a huge part of the work that I need to do, too. With each depressive cycle that I go through every year, I think I learn a little bit more about myself and I get used to the cycles of guilt that I have concerning everything, basically.
So I'm not quote unquote cured. I don't know if I ever will be, but I'm making progress. Yes, we found the blade. We found it. Freddie, do you want to come sit with me while I eat my mush? My masterpiece of the night? Say ah. Okay. Do you get free food all the time at Delish? All the groceries that I need for work are covered, and working from home, I basically don't really need to buy anything else. Sometimes I'll buy snacks for myself because snacks are not a part of recipe development. But for the most part, especially when I'm working from home, I basically don't have to buy any groceries out of my own pocketbook, which is nice. But, you know, perks with every job and cons with every job. Wow. I was not expecting to live 2.5 hours tonight. Jesus. When I used to work in restaurants, I worked in pastry, and so sometimes Aaron will ask me if I want to make like a New York Times baking recipe that he sees. I think the last thing that he sent me that was like something that he would love to eat if I ever wanted to make it was Earl Grey shortbread cookies. Hi, Tom. Believe me, Delish does not need another fucking Nutella recipe. Delish went through like 3 years of just Nutella recipes. What is everyone's favorite Thanksgiving food? Do you have one? Somebody asked me this the other day and I was like, it used to be stuffing, but I think honestly I'm at that stage in my life where I can't lie to myself anymore. It's obviously the pie. Obviously. Hi, Smiths. Yes, Mike. How did you discover my lives? Tell us. Why don't... I would love to know how everyone discovered my lives. How did you find this channel? Ram, Delish has a recipe for chocolate bourbon pecan pie. It looks pretty damn good. Folks who love cranberry sauce in the shape of the can. I love it. I love that. Nice. MSG video on Delish. Interesting. Ram. No, girl. You gotta make your own pie. I do not have the energy to make any more pies this year. Carrie, you have to explain what your mom's sexy pie is. I want to know what sexy pie is. Cookie video with brown butter. Which cookie video with brown butter? Is that the fennel seed one? The fennel seed brown butter? Ooh, sour cream. Sour cream pie. I actually still have a container of sour cream in the fridge. Maybe we do something with it tomorrow. Sour cream banana bread? Sour cream, coconut powder, banana bread. What other shit can we put in it? Goldfish and chips in the cookies, yes. That was at the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was just like, oh, this is going to be over soon. And I was like, yes, let's just go crazy while I can. And I just started putting fucking chips and goldfish in cookies. Why not? Mike, your story is very, very, like, elaborate. You found ramps. You went on YouTube to look up how to cook ramps. Carrie's sexy pie is pecan shortbread crust, yum, first of all. Layers of chocolate pudding, layer of whipped cream mixed with cream cheese, layer of vanilla pudding. That pie will get anyone's panties off.
I'm still waiting for the end of Mike's story. Still waiting. Interesting. I've never used ramps before in my entire delish life. I only cooked ramps at one restaurant that I worked at called Barbolanat. Fascinating. Fascinating. Me and Aaron cooking a bone broth. So that had to have been on my personal channel, right? Not a delish one. Interesting. All these origin stories of viewers. I love it. Do I like snails? Hell no. Ramps is kind of like a scallion, but more tender, a little bit like a garlic chive and a scallion had a baby. I love Japanese sweet potatoes. This is the fiber, the most fiber-filled end of a sweet potato. It's usually where you have these tough little fibers. But the middle portions are usually a lot smoother and smushable. It's not terribly sweet, but it's a lot sweeter than sweet potato, the orange ones. It feels a lot like peanut butter going down your gullet. It's very thick. Yeah, Aaron was probably, that was probably on a personal channel because they would not have allowed us to wear a Bernie shirt for Delish. In fact, in the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of people were asking me what that art is right over there. That was actually like 2 weeks before I had to film my first at-home video. I put a Bernie campaign sticker on there. And they saw it. Chelsea was doing like a tech run-through with me about shooting from home. And she was like, yeah, no, we can't have political stuff. And I was like, but it's my home kitchen. And she was like, yeah, no, journalistic standards. And I was like, okay, we're not journalists, but fine. So I covered it up with that art. I was very disappointed. I really wanted my Bernie sticker up there while I was cooking through the pandemic. Yay, kabocha. I honestly think through the entire pandemic, nobody
LOL, Nako. Nobody will give a shit anymore if I flash Bernie stuff. I think most people who are, you know, average IQ who watch my videos will understand what my political stance probably is. I don't know. I haven't decided what to do with the potatoes yet. I just decided to cook them because if I don't, I won't eat them. Yes, back to work Monday. I think celery, the flavor of celery works so well with sesame seeds. And sesame oil. Like celery and tahini probably would be really good. Something about the super anise heavy herb aspect of celery gets really tamed with that earthy, fragrant, bitter fattiness of sesame seeds. I bet if you make like a creamed celery potato like dip and then you stuff it inside a flatbread coated in sesame seeds, that would be really delicious. To get rid of the smell. I'm always too lazy to try to get rid of the smell. I just put stuff into the jar and let it wipe out the previous smell. Some people have recommended white vinegar, but listen, I'm not ever gonna waste a whole jar full of white vinegar on getting rid of the smell. So I do cook in smaller portions sometimes, but mush is not very conducive to being cooked in smaller portions, to be honest with you. It's more economical to make a huge pot of trash food. And also, the theme here is I'm lazy, and I don't want to cook that much, so... I don't freeze my mush. I don't know how to say mush in Chinese. Mush is not like quite an English word either, I feel like. I will say, like, in Chinese, usually I will find the word ni to be used a lot, which I think is related to mud. I don't know if it's the exact same character, but it's definitely a homophone. of mud. So ni would be like something to describe the texture of peanut butter, for example. Hu? Yeah, maybe hu. I don't know. Hu is a lot more like gluish, so that could be. So mashed potatoes in Chinese for me is 土豆泥. I don't know what other dialects and regions say. Nongzhou would be more like a thick congee, I guess. My grandma also calls every single soup and stew they serve at the rehab center zhou. And I'm like, Grandma, it's not congee. Yes, it is. Before you go, I'm going to show you my grocery purchase of the day. Check out these big ass mangoes. They're like big. They're huge. They're very big. These were 69 cents a piece. I don't know how they taste, but hopefully better than the dollar ones that I got. Here is a persimmon for scale. Oh my god. Wow. Here is a pear for scale. And here is a largest banana for scale. I hope it's not 90% seed either, but who knows. I would also like to commend Instant Pot for its washability. These inserts are fairly easy to get clean, which is always nice.
right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow sometime. We're gonna come back and we're gonna make some trashy baba fun. So, have a good night. Let's go say bye to Fred. And thanks for tuning in to all this shit. Ready? Hi. Bye.